Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a review for you. The review is for the final station, but it's for the DLC, which is called The Only Traitor. So The Only Traitor, it's DLC for the final station, which is a very interesting indie game. It's a retro side-scrolling shooter designed by Oleg Sergeyev. In the DLC, you play as a survivor who is driving across the country trying to find a safe place in the post-apocalyptic world set out in the main game. So the story revolves around your journey across the wasteland, looking for shelter, looking for survivors, looking for supplies. The game throws you right into the action from the off, not like in the main game, which had a very slow, methodical start. This is straight into the action. The game is set during the events of the main game, but shows a different side to the story, and it gives you a lot more context and background into the narrative that happens during the main game. It basically explains a lot of things that were going on and gives you a little bit more of an insight. The game world is a very minimalist and muted colour and tone. It feels very sort of subtle and very dystopian. It's a very, very sparse game environment. The DLC, like the main game, is a classic side-scrolling shooter. You have melee attacks and various guns you can use to kill your enemies. There are some minor puzzle-solving elements, but it's really just kind of more like find a key card and open a door. The gameplay loop, it's basically you get in your car, you can drive from one location to the next, it's all on autopilot. You can, make medipacks, ammunition, heal people, and then you just go to the next station. When you arrive at the next location, you have to find food, water, fuel before you can actually go back to your car and drive on. So it kind of locks the progression behind collecting 3 things. The enemies are more varied this time. You have more dangerous types of zombies, different strategies they employ, and you also have human enemies, which makes it very, very difficult at times. Overall, the DLC feels a lot more interesting than the main game. It's got a better rhythm to it, it's more varied, it seems to be a bit more polished, and it cuts out some of the dullness in the main game, and it kind of has a little bit more variety. Just felt more interesting to me. The music, again, is great. It's very 80s, very synthy, retro vibes. All the tracks really work nicely, and they really sort of sit in the environment, in the ambient background, and they really add to the tone of the gameplay. Okay, so what's good and what's bad? What's good? The car is a cool change, and it gets rid of the train admin, which was really quite dull. The new enemies make the game feel more varied and interesting. The story is great, and it helps to make more sense of the main game with a lot more backstory, and it's very intriguing as you progress. The game also has a really satisfactory final epilogue that really kind of sums up a lot of things that happened in both the DLC and the main game. It really kind of gives it a nice conclusion. What's bad? It's shorter than the main game, but it's cheaper than the main game because it's only like $3.99. Maybe it takes about 4 to 5 hours in total to finish, assuming you've played the first game and you're not completely rubbish. I definitely was left wanting more at the end, but I did really enjoy the game. I enjoyed it, even though I felt maybe it would have been nice to have a little bit extra in there, but it was fantastic while it lasted. Okay, now for the verdict. What do I think of the DLC? I think for £3.99 it's fantastic value. It's an excellent addition to the main game. It's interesting, it's more pacey, it's more varied, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than the main game. The only real negative is that I was just left wanting more, but that's generally a good sign of a game, that it did a good job. So what would I give the DLC out of 10? I gave the final station 7.5 out of 10. So is the Only Traitor DLC better? Yes, I think it improves on the main game in many ways, and I really enjoyed it a lot more, to be honest. I'd give this probably 8 out of 10, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who owns the base game, but even to newcomers who haven't played the main game yet. If you buy the main game, get the DLC as well, because it's definitely worth playing. It's an excellent addition. Okay, that was the final station DLC, The Only Traitor. Very interesting, enjoyed it a lot. I'd recommend picking it up if you've got the base game. Okay, if you enjoyed the review, please like, subscribe, click on the bell. Thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. This is Photography Gamer, signing off.